he's relying on you, isn't he? He wants her to stop.
George isn't one for bringing attention to himself.
Will you hush up? What's the matter with you now? He's sort of suggesting the other prisoners take it out on him over the campaign.
He's worried about the kids.
Well, he's bound to be, isn't he? Two lads like that need their father at home.
He'll have to do extra time for trying to escape. He'll lose his remission. I can't tell her to stop. She's got mixed feelings about me at the best of times.
Oh, Terry, she was worried sick about you when you were in hospital. My God, that poor woman. My heart goes out to her, you know. It does.
So much bad luck. Me and my dad thought we were unlucky, but I've never known a family like theirs for bad luck.
Do you want me to talk to her?
I don't know what to do. I'd better go.
That's all right, love. It's only Ruth. She won't stop. I want to help sort this out with you. Hello, love. Come in.
Hello, Sheila. How are you today?
I'm okay, thanks, love. This is Terry.
Hello.
Right.
I'll be back about 4, Sheila.
Oh, that's great, love. Listen, I've put her bottle and nappies in the bottom, and if you feed her when you get back, and then again at lunchtime, she should be all right.
How'd you like having a baby sister, Terry?
Oh, no, this is our Barry's mate. He's only popped in.
I thought he was your lad, Sheila. Sorry, love. Bye.
Ta-ra.
Okay, love.
There we are.
That's it. Thanks, Ruth. I'll see you later, love. She should be all right for you.
She'll be no trouble, love. You enjoy yourself.
Thanks.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra, love.
Does she often take the baby?
No, just today. I bump into her at the shops. Oh, felt like a break. She looks after their Kathleen's as well. She seems to like them.
What do you think I should do, Mrs. Grant?
Well, I'll go and talk to her if you like. I mean, I'll get a mouthful, I always do, but... Well, it might get me out of my own miseries if I try and help somebody else.
You're all right, aren't you?
Yes, it's just the baby.
She's all right, isn't she?
Yeah, it's just me. Well, I never liked our Damon at this age. You can't help your feelings, can you?
Suppose not.
I try and love her. I think I've got a bout of this postnatal depression. Only I don't know what you do about it.
Hello? Anyone home? Paul? Gordon? Paul? Paul? Gordon? Can you help me, please?
Marie?
She's out here, love, with the washing.
Oh, yeah. Would you like to sit down? Do you want a cup of tea?
Oh, no, no, thanks, love.
I hope she doesn't blow up at you. Marie, brought Mrs. Grant round to see you.
Hello, love.
I'm sorry about the mess. It's the washing.
No, it's lovely now. You've got it really lovely, Marie.
Well, to what do I owe the honour? I hope you've not come to say your piece about me little lad's eye.
How is he?
He's all right. It was an accident. These things happen to lads. Wasn't my fault.
You must have been worried sick.
Yeah, I have been.
I wanted to come over with Terry. Well, I know we've had our differences in the past, and I know you're never going to forgive our Barry, but it doesn't mean I can't help you.
Well, there's nothing you can do.
I've had a letter off George.
Yeah?
Terry brought the letter over for me because, well, he doesn't know how to tell you.
Tell me what?
He thought it'd be easier coming from me.
You're going a long way round the houses, aren't you?
It's George.
Well, what's the matter with him? What's he doing writing to you? What are you doing going to where? What's going on?
He wants you to give up the campaign, Marie.
No, he doesn't.
He says so in his letter.
Well, he hasn't said anything to me.
It's all in here, Marie. He wants me to talk to you.
I'm not giving up.
Look, Marie, I think he's having a bit of a bad time of it. With your lad's eye and all that, well, I think the other prisoners are giving him a very hard time.
George can look after himself. Give me that.
You've got to put your family first, love.
Well, I'd say someone's been searching for something, you know, looking around.
Can't understand it. Unless Paul's been home looking for something.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen him. Well, you should ask Mr. C. He'll have it jotted down if anyone's been in or out of the close.
I wonder if I should phone him. Well, there is £40 missing. It's my catering money. I can't imagine what Paul would want that for. I mean, well, he could go to the bank.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to suggest. You know, there's more to this than meets the eye, Annabelle.
Well, I don't think it's burglars. I think it's a member of my own family. Had some sort of turn.
Well, Miss Havisham, I don't really have the time at the moment. But if you really insist on going through it...
I would like to.
Well, what about Friday, 10:30?
Oh, I'll be at the London sales office then.
Well, then, it'll have to be next Tuesday, same time.
Yes, that's fine.
Worthwhile, your visit to London, is it?
One more piece in the jigsaw.
That was my idea, you know. The London office. I had some very good times down there setting that up. About 9 or 10 years ago now.
I'm really looking forward to going down. It's been ages since I was there. Give me a chance to do some shopping. I desperately need some new clothes.
Just as long as Hamilton Devereux pay your expenses and not Curzon Communications.
Sorry, Malcolm, I didn't know you were engaged.
Oh, that's all right, Mr. Matthews. I was just going. Tuesday at 10:30 then.
Miss Havisham, keeping on your toes, Malcolm.
Auditors will be auditors. You get used to them.
So, Miss Havisham is something you've got used to, eh, Deacon?
She seems to be getting along all right. Doing the job to the best of her ability.
And what is her ability?
Well, I would have expected Hamilton Devereux to have sent us someone more experienced, but she's thorough.
A1 for effort, then.
She's making an effort all round.
I don't get your meaning.
She's a woman in a man's world.
A professional woman in a man's world. And rather full of herself, I thought.
I agree. She's also a very attractive woman.
And has she succumbed to your charms?
Oh, I haven't attempted to charm her. But I think she has succumbed somewhere among our staff.
What makes you think that?
Ask Mike Harrison. He seems very eager to assist Miss Havisham. And not just with her audit.
Friday. Friday's out, I'm afraid, Stuart. Yeah, I'm terribly sorry. Oh, how awful. I'd completely forgotten. I'm sorry. Well, I promised an old friend. Yeah, I can't get out of it. We bumped into each other quite by chance.
Miss Havisham should be able to give us the pre-flotation review by the end of next week, and then she'll be on her way. If Mike Harrison has been lucky enough to charm our auditor, I don't think it'll have any detrimental effect upon the work of either of them.
I think you should have a word with Miss Havisham.
It's her business.
She's here to work for us, not to seduce our staff.
I think you're overreacting.
I object to the unprofessional aspect of it all. I think Hamilton Devereux should be told. She's hardly been here 2 minutes.
You could be completely mistaken.
I dare say. Nevertheless, I prefer her taken off the job.
Well, that's rather drastic.
I don't want to involve Tom Curzon in all this.
Certainly not.
Tom trusts us. I think we should act decisively.
This is quite a turnaround. You were perfectly happy with her work a minute ago.
I just don't think it's a healthy policy. She's looking into the financial viability of our company. I don't want her findings to be coloured or influenced by anything other than the facts and figures put in front of her.
Do you think they would be?
I'm sure they have been already. That woman spends far too much time chattering with all and sundry. Quite frankly, I'd prefer someone more experienced, more sober-looking and male. I can spot trouble, and she means trouble. If you're looking for my advice, it's to get rid of her. Tell Hamilton Devereux you want someone else and get rid of her.
I do understand your point of view, honest. I know how difficult it is to stop something once you've got started.
I've thought and thought about it. George is just getting cold feet. Partly because I've started to make an impression.
You still not convinced of Mrs. Grant?
No. Marie's got her own reasons for wanting to carry on.
Who were they? God! Oh! When my George hears that I ended up under a duvet with you. God, you never know what's going to happen, do you? This time last year, who'd have thought?
This time next year, the bomb might have dropped. It could just be specks of radioactive dust.
Oh, cheer me up some more.
It is chilly, though. Do you want to come over to mine?
No, Teddy'll be back soon. Be all right when the window's boarded up. Betty might phone anyway.
My God, the things people do. Shouldn't we phone the police?
No, what good would the police do? Either Tommy McCardle's put them up to it, or else they've done it because of what they read in their papers. Power of the media, Rick Saxton calls it. I'm going to have to jack it in, Sheila. It's too much of a risk.
You see, Mrs. Collins, we had a miserable night last night. I'm really fond of Gordon. I am, really. And I never wanted this to happen. He's always been jealous. First Damon Grant and now this. And he won't believe me when I tell him Anyway, I just wanted to see him. If he doesn't want me to see anyone else, I won't.
Now, let me get this straight. Gordon called round to see you yesterday. You told him you'd been seeing someone else. He got upset. You had an argument and he left. And today, when you get home from college, this note is shoved through your letterbox.
That's about it, yes.
Well, I'm not surprised he was upset. He thought a lot of you. There's nothing he wouldn't have done for you.
There's nothing I wouldn't do for him.
Breaking his heart is included in that service, I assume.
Mrs. Collins, I'm sorry about what happened. I am, really.
I should hope so. You're not the only one that Gordon's left behind, you know. Judging by the state of this house, I think he's left home.
He can't have done.
Well, I think he has. You'd better go.
want to ring my husband, inform the police, and then go and look for my son. Is there anything I can do? I think you've done quite enough already.
Shay, I'm home. Hiya.
I wasn't expecting you.
What's going on over there?
Somebody's put the window through. I think Marie's making too much fuss about George.
Some vicious people knocking about, eh?
She's all right. I think the world could crumble around her and she'd count her blessings. She's tough. Tougher than me, I know that much.
She's the toughest on the close, that one. Anyway, where's my little girl? Does she want washing, changing, feeding, papering?
She's with a friend.
Who, Teresa, is it?
Ruth.
Ruth? Never heard of her.
I bump into her at the shops.
Where does she live? I'll nip over and get her. Save Ruth the journey.
I don't know where she lives.
What? You've never been to her house?
I think she lives on the estate, Newlyn Avenue, near Ted and Marion. Round that way.
Sheila, you don't know this woman, do you? She's minding the baby and you don't even know where she lives.
She looks after their Kathleen's as well.
God, Shay, how long's this been going on?
This is the first time.
But when is she bringing her back?
About 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock? It's 4:45.
Oh, she'll be here soon then, won't she?
She? What's the matter with you? You don't know this woman, do you? You don't know her.
Yes! Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Patrick goes to Hollywood with my guitar. Yes! Kate!
Have you won £1 million on the Daily Mirror?
Yes!
But you have?
No, look, that was the club. They've asked me back.
Oh.
Is that all you can say? Oh?
Oh, good.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Anything could have happened to her. It's 4 o'clock and she's an hour late now and there's still no sign of her. I think we should go look around the shops and that. I think we should go looking now. I can't just stand here waiting.
I'd better stay here then in case they get back.
Well, can't you see why I'm worried?
Yes, I can see why you're worried. You're making me worried pacing up and down. I wouldn't give her to anybody I didn't trust.
I'm going. I'll see you later.
That's that, then.
Thanks, Terry.
It should soon warm up in here.
She's all right, Sheila, isn't she?
She's a good woman.
I can't say I'm giving up. I'm not giving up.
You'll have to, Marie.
Do you know what they used to say to me? Because my mum was a caesarean. They used to say, you fought your way out and you haven't stopped. I was only 3 then. I'm 35 now and I'm still not stopping.
You haven't got a backbone, Marie. You've got a rod of steel.
That's the nicest thing that anybody's ever said to me.
But think of George and the kids.
Yeah. I am going to stop the campaign.
You'll have to.
I'll not stop fighting, though. It's in my nature.
I know.
I'll bounce back. So will George.
Hello? Oh, it's you. I've been ringing you all day. I can't. Not on the phone. Paul, come home. I don't care if you lose your job. Just come home now. Listen. Dear Mum and Dad, I'm going to look around for a while. Sorry if I've borrowed 40 quid, but with my savings, that will keep me going. I'll see you when I've grown up a bit. I have to get away for it to happen, and I'm sorry if I've upset you. Love, Gordon. I do love you. I do. Don't think I don't. Oh, I wouldn't give you away. It'd break my heart if anything happened to you. Do you know, when you're 16, I'll be 60. I'll be an old woman. Where's your dad?
When did she turn up?
Here, go to your dad. He loves you.
Yeah. Come on. I wouldn't give you to strangers, would I, love them?
I didn't.
As good as. I wouldn't have done what you did.
How do you know?
Because I know.
You know what it's like to be pregnant, do you? You know what it's like to give birth. You earn the money. You know everything.
Oh, I didn't say that, did I? I said I wouldn't give it to strangers, neither should you.
I am a stranger to her.
Yeah. So you've been a stranger to me round here lately. Come on, babe.
Oh, bored with her now, are you? It's boring, innit? Looking after a baby, boring. Takes time. Takes time you haven't got. Takes time you could be in London with Janet Hanson.
What?
You know, you know.
What's got into you?
This house! This 3-month-old lump that I'm tied to for the next, what, 5, 10, 16 years? I don't want her!
Sheila!
I don't love her now. I don't like her. I don't want her.
Oh, Sheila, come on, babe.
I don't know what to do.
Sheila, love. Look. Sheila, you've got that illness, babe. Oh, come on, love. I'm sorry. It's my fault. I didn't realise it was so serious. Oh, come on, love. We can sort this out. Look, I don't know. Look, I'll help you, love. Honest, I'll help you. And I'll love the baby. I'll love it as much as
We'll be late.
I got caught up in traffic.
Your car or mine?
We'll have to take both, Hannah.
Both?
I have to go over to Petrochem.
I'll drop you there afterwards.
I have to go now.
You don't mean it.
I'm afraid I do.
Paul, we have to go to Gordon's school. Our son is missing.
Oh, for God's sake, Anna, you don't have a monopoly of concern.
Seems I have.
There's a board meeting after work over this Woodward and Lynch business. The office contacted me to clients.
And since when has your job been more important than your son?
Look, can you say that? When Gordon returns, When? When Gordon returns, he'll want things just as they were.
Just as they were. Isn't that what he ran away from?
We don't know what he ran away from.
What shall I tell them?
I don't know.
You were too busy to come?
Yeah?
I'll tell you in.
No.
Oh, when's he getting back?
I haven't a clue.
Oh, do you mind if I come in and wait?
Why not? Thinking of getting you a rent book.
Where's he gone?
Delivering a car.
Ah. Oh.
Michelle's.
Shows yours, then. Only joking, Gail. Parched. I've had a drink all day.
Chaps there, get a drink of water.
Oh, I was just thinking more of a cup of tea, like.
Think again.
I'll only use one tea bag. Michelle not in?
No.
You think it's gonna rain?
Look, why do you keep coming here? What's the big attraction?
The conversation. I'll do it myself if you like.
What?
The tea.
Where do you think you are, lad? Butlins? I'm sick of you coming round here on the scrounge. I'm sick of pouring tea down your throat. I'm sick of the sight of you, right?
Right.
How many sugars?
2. Any biscuits?
I turn now to the bribery allegation.
Does anyone believe it?
Oh, don't be silly, Paul.
Does anyone believe it? What's silly, Nigel? My question or the allegation itself?
Both.
In that case, move on.
And simply ignore it.
Well, if you don't ignore it, if you don't treat it with the contempt it deserves, it's succeeded. Is that what you want?
David.
Lies and rumors are contemptible, Paul. We can't ignore the fact that they have succeeded to a certain extent. They've created a climate within the plant. It would be irresponsible of us to ignore it.
Thank you. Now, even in ideal circumstances, a subcontracting scheme would be difficult to introduce. Our union membership here isn't exactly militant, despite the closed shop, or maybe because of it. However, I suggest this is their muscle flexing time. They'll fight over this, and shall I tell you why? They'll fight this one because they lost the last one, the dismissal of John Crosby.
What are you suggesting? That I somehow turn the clock back and keep the man on the payroll?
If it could be done, yes.
The man was totally incompetent.
He wasn't alone.
So, the cost of getting the scheme through is to maintain an inefficient workforce.
One man we're talking about, Paul. You should have left well alone. Got the scheme through and then sacked the beggar.
Duplicity, you mean?
Management, for God's sake.
Nigel, Paul, look, I don't want to be formal, but the way things are going, it would be better if you made your comments through the chair.
Gladly, David. if you'll guarantee my getting through this brief without further interruption.
These are trying times for you, Paul, I know, but Nigel does have a point.
Forgive me.
What do you do overnight?
Watch telly?
You don't go out much?
Not since... No, I don't.
Do you good to get out, you know?
Do my George a lot more good.
I'll take you out, if you like.
Hey.
For a night out.
Right. Out.
All right.
Out. Right now. Get out.
What's wrong?
So that's your little game, is it? Well, you can just sling your hook, lad. Out.
Well, I only offered to take you out. What's wrong with you?
Nobody takes my Georgie's place round here, especially not the likes of you, you gormless git. Now get out.
I don't want to take George's place. I don't want to come between you and George, Gail. I just want to give you a nice house.
Why?
Because I'm grateful. The way you put up with me. Let me come round here and all that. I'm grateful and
And what? Come on, and what?
I get lonely.
Here.
So. Will you?
No.
Why not?
Tongues will be wagging.
If they're wagging about you, they're leaving somebody else alone. How long is it since you've had a night out? How long?
Oh, ages.
Just a night out, Gail. There'd be no need for us to...
No need? There'd be no chance, lad.
Well, that's all right.
What if my George found out?
Do you think he'd mind?
Of course he'd mind.
Well, he loves you, doesn't he?
Of course he loves me.
Well, he wouldn't want you sat here every night. Would he sick over him?
He'd be hurt. If he found out, he'd be hurt.
What about?
About me going out with another fella, what do you think?
Do I measure up to George?
Nobody measures up to George.
And what has he got to be hurt about?
Where you thinking of going?
I know Paul's going to make a strong economic case for subcontracting, but I ask you to consider this. For various reasons, and we all know what they are, this year's going to be rough. Quite possibly our worst trading year for some time. It's going to be blacker still if, and this is the optimistic scenario, if we have to make large redundancy payments to a significant number of men. Come April 1986, the shareholders will be asking for heads to roll. And try placating them with talk of short-term sacrifice for long-term gain.
Said no cause. Carry on, Rich.
Not only is it against the interests of the company to go through with this scheme, it's against their own personal interests as well. And I value my job, thank you very much.
There's a call for you, Paul.
For me?
Yes, I suggest you take it outside. It's personal.
I see. Excuse me.
It's about his son.
Yes? Oh, thank God.
Ah, was it about your son?
Yes. Where were we? Nigel mentioned the bribery business. Well, quite frankly, I'm appalled the bribery allegation was ever raised at this meeting.
Oh,
But I'm glad it has been raised, Nigel, because it places the board under a moral obligation to ensure that such a tactic fails.
this is a business, Paul, not the Salvation Army hostel.
Since when have business and morality been incompatible?
Ask yourself, Paul. You were quite prepared to go digging into Colin Peterson's past.
The difference being that I tried to unearth facts.
And got the facts wrong.
Nigel, what's done is done.
I'm sorry.
Now, leaving morality aside, I'll put it in business terms. Each of us has, at some time or other, to propose changes. Personnel, work patterns, even wages. What's to stop Colin Peterson throwing mud at you when your turn comes? You, Stephen, pretty soon you're going to have to buy a whole new centrifugal drying system. And you'll lay men off because of it. Are you next on Colin Peterson's list? You, Charles? Frank? Scandal-mongering is a business tactic, a dirty business tactic. And as a board, we must make damn sure not only that it fails, but that it is seen to fail.
Subcontracting?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because a little dicky bird told me. Listen, you've been causing murder in that plant. Sonny Sykes has been running around telling all hands they're going to be out next week. So the lads on the shop floor are going spare, aren't they? Because they've only just booked their holidays, or half of them have.
If they were going to shelve it, it'd still be on the agenda, wouldn't it?
Oh, behave yourself, will you? What's on the agendas for discussion? If it's been shelved, there's nothing to discuss, is there?
Yeah, there is. How to shelve it without losing face.
Look, lad, I happen to know Paul Collins, and I happen to know his son's gone missing. Him and his wife have been running around tearing their hair out, but he's still gone to that meeting. Now, he wouldn't do that, lad, unless there was something really important there.
He's gone to the meeting because he still thinks there's a chance of getting it through, that's all. He must think the rest of the board are as daft as he is. Look, he runs a jumped-up bottling plant, for God's sake. They're not going to risk closing the old plant just to back the likes of him.
Well, maybe they think there's no chance of it closing, eh?
Well, then they are as daft as he is.
Look, lad, Paul Collins has been snooping around and asking questions about the maintenance gang. I've been doing a little bit myself. And I couldn't find more than 3 people in the whole plant that had a good word to say about them. So you've got no chance of getting them to go out over them. Listen, the maintenance gang could be undrawn and quartered and no one would lift a finger.
Does Collins know that?
Well, if he does, he'll tell the board. And they might just decide to have a go. And you know if that happens, eh? Well, we're in dead lumber.
Sorry I'm late, Don.
Some things are worth waiting for.
Thank you. Thanks.
Oh, how was London?
Ooh, fairly hectic. Could I have a house white, please?
Thank you. Plane from Heathrow. Business must be booming.
Generous expenses.
Tired?
A bit. How are you?
Fine. The stroganoff looks good.
If you think Petrochem will risk an all-out strike for the sake of a jumped-up bottling plant, then you are mad. Those as near as damn it are Colin Peterson's words.
He's right.
He's saying we're spineless, for God's sake.
He's saying we're cautious, Paul. At least some of us are.
May I come back to this point?
Of course.
Nigel makes a great thing about my sacking one man.
The timing, that was all.
He was a clown. I don't think even Nigel would argue that he shouldn't have been sacked.
Of course not. I repeat, it was the timing.
The timing. A man who should never have been allowed inside the plant, and we have to agonize over when and whether to dismiss. And why? Because of trade unionism and the Employment Protection Acts. But with outside contractors, we have no direct employees. We can sack when we need to sack, without trade union action or redundancy payments, simply by not renewing their contracts. That's the benefit of subcontracting, flexibility in manning. And the more Nigel argues the Crosby case, the greater the argument for subcontracting becomes. I didn't expect assistance from such a quarter, Nigel. Thank you. Now I come back to Colin Peterson's words. Would there be an all-out strike? The answer is there would not be one over this issue.
We don't all share your confidence.
Nigel, there's a group of men in this factory who are on a higher rate of pay than all other hourly paid personnel, who are allowed to play cards when the rest of the plant is in full operation, because then their services aren't required, who own their own tea hut and consequently don't mix with the rest of the men, who stick to their rule book so rigidly they often deprive production workers of their productivity bonus, and so, in short, are despised by the rest of our workforce. No one will lift a finger to help them. Guess who?
Nigel?
The maintenance crew?
I'll never know the reason why. I just can't say.
Shut up!
I just can't. Yeah, my dulcet tones annoying you then, Kate?
Yes.
Look, shall I give you a sneak preview? You know, take it from the top.
No.
Nah, you're right. Mustn't lessen the impact of the big night for you.
It won't. I won't be there.
You won't be there?
That's what I said.
Well, why not?
I just don't want to go.
Well, have you got something else on?
No.
So what are you going to be doing? Just sitting around the house all evening?
Yes.
This means a lot to me, Kate.
Do you mind?
This means a lot to me, Kate.
Will you give me that back, please?
Well, why aren't you going?
Give it back to me.
Look, is it something I've said? Kate, is it something I've said? Well,
Look,
to
it's
her...
nothing, okay?
Kate, I've booked the tickets.
I'll give one back.
I can't give it back.
And I'll pay you for it.
They're comps.
Then there's no problem then, is there?
Why are you doing this?
Will you give it a rest?
Why are you doing this?
Doing what?
Treating me like a bit of muck.
You get used to it.
Resign?
If the board goes against me, yes. I'm prepared to leave the room.
No. That won't be necessary. Well, if no one else wishes to speak. All those in favor of moving ahead with Paul's scheme? Well, for obvious reasons, we might as well make it unanimous. Nigel?
No.
Oh, come on.
No, I've no intention of threatening to resign. But I have no alternative but to go along with this lemming-like rush, but by God, I want to be able to say I told you so when we go hurtling over the edge.
It won't come to that.
Of course not. Right, item 1 is next. Stevens centrifugal system.
David, I'm not essential to the rest of this meeting. I wonder if I might be excused.
Of course.
I think I should be with Annabelle. Our son is safe and well.
Ah, I'm pleased for you, Paul.
Thank you. All in all, the last few hours have brought great relief.
Have you talked to Sandra?
No.
Well, would you sooner tell her why you won't go?
It's got nothing to do with Sandra.
But it's got something to do with me.
Look, I just don't want to go, for God's sake.
Kate, this has never happened before, has it? Well, we've always backed each other up. When that porter was giving you a hard time, well, you came to me, didn't you? I nearly got sacked over it.
Look, dragging up favours isn't going to make me want to go. We can all drag things up.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to try and make you go. If you won't go, well, then I can't make you, can I? But I'm not going to stop trying until you tell me why. Well, you owe me that at least.
All right. I think your song's a stupid song, and I think you're going to make a fool of yourself.
And that's stopping you coming, right? You wouldn't want to be associated with a fool. You and Sandra have made fools of yourselves plenty of times. But it's not stopped me telling people that I'm your friend, is it? show you, Kate.
Would you do it all again?
I'm not sure. I wouldn't repeat the same mistakes again. But then the trouble is, be a different partner, so there'd be different mistakes.
What was the biggest of them?
With Roger getting married in the first place.
After that?
I don't know. Trusting him, I suppose.
There's got to be trust.
I've seen marriages thrive on mutual suspicion. At least that way there's no real betrayal.
Could you enter into a marriage like that?
No. Still, even from a bad marriage, there are things you miss. Got some more coffee?
No, thanks. Such as?
Someone to talk to when things have gone well or badly. Someone to eat with.
Someone to sleep with? Can I phone you?
Yes, do.
Tomorrow? Bye.
You did promise.
What?
That you wouldn't assume anything. Bye. Bye.
Right, son.
Oh, what do you want?
Oh, that's nice, isn't it? That's a fine way to greet your father.
Well, I've got no money.
What makes you think I'm after money? I came round here to see you.
Oh, have you?
Couldn't lend us a tenner, could you?
Dead right.
Oh, thanks, son.
I couldn't.
I promised to take somebody out, you know.
Tough.
Marie.
Tough. What?
Me and Marie, we're going out.
Now, listen here, you keep your dirty little hands to yourself.
How do you mean?
She's Michelle's sister, so leave her alone.
Well, it's platonic.
You don't even know the meaning of the word.
It means no chance anyway, so don't bother trying. She's only got to open her mouth, lad, and I'm quaking in me boots.
Why?
Well, you've heard her, haven't you?
Why are you taking her out?
She's fed up. I'm fed up. Might as well be fed up together.
Well, where are you taking her?
There's a darts match down at the Swamp.
Oh, behave. If you're going to take her out, take her somewhere decent.
Well, like?
Take her out for a meal.
Oh, take more than a tenner, that, Teddy.
Look, don't you take me for a mug. I'll get you the money, but don't take me for a mug.
Your father's proud of you, son.
I'm doing it for Marie, all right?
Yeah, sure, yeah. Oh, and she'll want you to babysit as well, okay?
You looking for someone?
Yeah, Archie.
Oh, he'll be back soon. He's off on a vital mission. What do you want to see him about?
Oh, he's fixing something for me.
Your toaster.
Yeah, that's right.
Archie doing foreigners in the firm's time, eh?
Oh, I'd be very surprised if he did it in the firm's time.
I'd be amazed if he didn't. He's always doing it. He'll have to go.
You're not serious.
Aren't I?
I see no reason why I should get into trouble for fixing my toaster. I'm not even paying him.
That's what they all say.
I'm not a liar, Mr...
Anyway, that's beside the point. He's doing other work in the firm's time.
You know he's a friend of the chairman's.
Tom Curzon, so what?
So I think you should consider that before you report him, don't you?
I'm not going to report him, no, am I? You are.
Am I?
Well, you're the accountant Mr. Curzon hired, aren't you?
Yes.
So it's your job to save him money. So you'll have to tell him about Archie.
Look, I tell you what, I won't tell you how to do your job, and you don't tell me how to do mine. Is that a deal?
Hello, Miss Havisham.
Hello, Archie.
I'm just finishing it now.
What's that, Arch?
A toaster, Mr. Curzon.
Thanks, Arch.
You're Mr. Curzon.
Tom. Tom Curzon. You're Heather.
Get a shovel handy, Archie, so I can start digging a hole.
Why? Because subcontracting the maintenance work makes sense.
When?
As soon as possible.
When can you get your side together?
There'll be no negotiation. The board sees no point in it, particularly in view of the kind of tactics you've used. The men will be informed.
A slip of paper in the pay packet?
That's one way, yes.
You're crazy.
I don't think so.
I know you've been sniffing round, Mr. Collins. I know you think this'll be a piece of cake. But I've promised those men my support, and I keep my promises. If you've guaranteed the board this is going to go through without a strike, that's the biggest mistake you've ever made. It could be you out that gate, not the maintenance men.
I thought he was one of the men.
He likes to keep his hand in.
Thought he'd be a lot older.
That's what they all say. He has an eye for a pretty girl and all.
What are you implying, Archie Rivers?
You know, I just can't get used to these new colours.
Mr. Curzon seemed to have eyes only for his work.
But that's those eyes. His eyes for a pretty girl he keeps here. Yeah.
Oh, bless you. Archie, are you still getting those faulty goods returned?
Yeah,
The same rate?
faster than ever.
Have you told Mr. Curzon about it?
Well,
You haven't, have you?
well, he must know himself, mustn't he? I mean, it's not for me to tell him how to run his business, is it?
You seemed cheerful enough just now.
Things getting bad, are they?
Pretty bad.
God's sake, George, they won't even negotiate.
They've got a perfect right not to negotiate. You've practically called one of their managers a thief. You've been going around the plant threatening everything by the national strike. We're going to have to start calling you Arthur.
If I hadn't put myself about, they'd have gone ahead with it already.
If you hadn't put yourself about, we might be negotiating by now.
Negotiating?
Well, don't knock it, son. It's what you get paid for, remember?
I am not going to negotiate the sale of jobs.
I think that's up to those in the jobs, Colin.
Is it hell? George, hasn't the miners' strike taught you anything? A man's job isn't just that man's job. It's his children's job.
Try telling that to the members. Yeah? Oh, hello, buddy. Yes, they're going ahead with it. Oh, you will? Good, thanks. Bobby Grant's coming over.
I can handle this.
Well, you'll handle it a lot better with Bob then, won't you?
Will Rudolph be there tonight?
Who?
Your dancing friend.
His name's Richard. Richard de Saville.
He's probably gay.
Oh, grow up.
They all are. All those dancers are the same.
He's not gay.
It's bound to be. How do you know?
Grow up.
Come on. How do you know he's not?
Look, grow up. You might be able to get me a job.
Pulling a sleigh.
As a dancer.
He's giving you a load of bull. You know what he's after, don't you?
Look, I've told you. Grow up. Grow up and shut up.
Couldn't lend us a few bob, could you?
Why?
Just need it.
How much?
About 40 or 50 quid.
I haven't got it.
Well, you were loaded this afternoon.
I've just given Marie our rent.
I wouldn't ask you if I didn't need it.
I'll get it for you.
I'll need it before you go and meet Rudolph.
I'll get it for you, right?
I hope his nose is getting better.
Are you ready then?
Can't go yet. We'll have to wait for Kate.
She's not coming.
What?
She won't come?
Don't talk soft. Of course she'll come. You're coming, aren't you, Kate?
No.
Why not?
Look, Sandra, I've been through all this. I just don't want to go.
Don't be so stupid.
I'm not going.
You're a miserable
Come
bism.
on, Sand.
Why won't you come?
Look, will you leave her? I'm going to be late.
You all right, old girl?
Yes.
Well, Gordon's safe and well. That's the main thing.
I think I'll go over to France and see him.
That's out of the question.
It's out of the question to sit here doing nothing.
We've no alternative.
Why? Too busy at work?
Nothing of the sort. You know, Lucy said that if we tried to see him, he'd leave.
We won't announce our arrival. We'll just turn up.
I'm afraid I gave my word to Lucy that we wouldn't attempt to.
Well, I didn't give mine.
Let's have this out here and now, Anna. What did he run away from?
Ask yourself, Paul. Even when he ran away, you were too busy with your maintenance contract to be bothered about him.
Parents often blame each other in situations like this.
For pity's sake.
I thought we could avoid this sort of thing. But since you won't, look to yourself, Anna. You were so concerned about this tuppence halfpenny catering business, you couldn't even cook him a hot meal. We do nothing. Lucy said he's going to write. Oh, we'll wait till we get his letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, should be 4 comps, Pat Hancock.
There's only 3 of you.
Yeah, well, one of us couldn't come.
What's the name?
Pat's Hancock.
I know nothing of it.
Look, we were here last week. Johnny Dunbar's fixed it up.
Oh, when you say?
Well, you didn't ask.
Where you going?
In there?
No, you're not.
Look, I'm singing. Trevor Hartley?
Go ahead.
Us niggers can go anywhere, as long as it's to entertain you white folks.
Would you have let him in if he wasn't singing?
Do me a favour.
Why?
Well, if you let one in, the next thing you know, you're crawling with him.
Did you turn a real black girl last week?
Probably.
You bloody
racist!
What's the matter with him? Take him over before he gets bloody hurt.
I'm all right.
Come on.
You getting ready?
Yeah.
What for?
There's no law against it, is there?
No. You know, I've just given you my rent.
Yeah.
Well, Terry needs it. Can I have it back?
Well, one thing's for certain. We can do nothing. The men are going to open up their pay packets and find those redundancy notices. So they walk out and they picket the gate. And the plant will close for a few days. And then they start crossing the picket lines back to work. And we look stupid.
If the picket line's official, they won't cross.
Behave yourself, lad. It's all the rage nowadays.
We're going to have to talk to them and get them to try and see sense.
They're not prepared to talk.
Not management, the men.
And what are you going to talk to them about?
Money.
No way. I gave those men my word.
Oh, come on.
No way. I promised them.
You had no right to promise anybody anything.
They asked me. What was I supposed to do, George, eh? Take a leaf out of your book and lie through me teeth?
Aye, you. Behave yourself, will you?
It's all right, Bobby. OK, what's the alternative then, Colin? Because the men won't strike.
We passed the word round. We won't strike, no matter what. But we want a mandate to strike to frighten management.
That'll never work. Management's are bound to get wind of it.
Well, so what? Because once we've got the mandate, we'll use it. We'll strike. Who's going to scab on a strike they voted for?
You're early.
We didn't go in.
Why not?
Oh, you know why.
They stopped a black guy going into the club.
What for?
Come off it, Kate, will you? Did you get stopped last week?
Yes.
Why didn't you say?
I couldn't.
You couldn't? Oh, don't be so bloody stupid, Kate.
Look, Pat, I didn't want to interfere with your career. If I had told you, you wouldn't have gone in.
We didn't go.
You were unlucky.
Unlucky?
Unlucky. If you hadn't have seen the guy getting stopped, you wouldn't have thought twice about not seeing a black face in the audience. You were unlucky. Oh, I think your song's a good song.
Look, Kate, we always said we'd back each other up. We'd be straight with each other. It was a promise. Well, this is the first time it's been broken, and I think that's a bloody shame.
The first time? It's been broken hundreds of times. You want me to be straight with you? Tell you how many times the colour of my skin's got me treated like a dog. Well, how long have you got to spare? Huh? A week? It's not the first time. It's just the first time you found out, that's all.
Yeah, don't half miss him. I miss him when the kids have been naughty. I used to say, George. George would go charging up the stairs and make out he was dead mad at them. But they the kids scattered into the beds and George giving them down the banks. Then he'd come downstairs and we'd laugh our heads off. I miss telling him when they've done something good, you know, like... Well, I'm trying to think when they did something good. Yeah. Like when they sold their bikes. God love them.
Well, he'll be out soon, Gail.
Yeah. And when he is...
What?
What do you think?
Ooh, you need some more of this.
Can I come in?
Yeah.
What do you think of Pat's girl?
She's nice.
Yeah, she's okay. Wanted to belt the doorman, you know.
Why?
Oh, come on.
Look, it wouldn't have done any good. Would have just made him more racist, that's all.
Never think of that, though, do you?
Well, you should.
Look, Kate, tonight meant a lot to Pat, and it's all gone sour. And you made it worse. You sat back and watched him look forward to it all week. If you'd spoken out last week, you wouldn't have had to go through all that.
Yes, but I didn't know you were going to see the guy getting stopped, did I?
He got in. He was with a band. Do you think that's terrible, though? He knew what was going on. He still went in.
That's what it takes, Sandra. I don't blame him. I mean, I work in the hospital.
Come on, the hospital's not like that.
Oh, yes, it is. It's just not so obvious, that's all.
If we were black, would you have told us?
If you were black, I wouldn't have needed to.
All right. What if management call our bluff and the lads find they have to go out even though they don't want to?
Management wouldn't risk it.
Oh?
I don't like the sound of it. I'm not going to con my own members.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time, would it?
You what? Hey, go on, lads. Say something if you've got something to say.
Well, a second time round for you, isn't it? Fairbanks Engineering. You sat back then, let them close B plant. Well, you came out of it all right, though, didn't you?
You what? I'll knock your bloody head off for you. No one worked harder than me to keep that place open.
Yeah, it closed.
Take a walk, Colin.
There's things to discuss it.
Take a walk, Colin, while you still can. We'll call another meeting. We're going to have to get rid of young Colin. But not just yet, though. Someone's going to take the rap for all this.
We were talking downstairs. We want to know in future. Every time you've got a problem like this, we want to know.
Now, wait a minute, Sandra. Racism's not my problem. I might suffer the consequences, yes, but it's their problem.
Okay. But when it happens, we want to know. It's so funny.
Oh, you wouldn't understand.
There you go again. I'm white, but I might understand, right?
I'm not getting at you, Sandra. You and Pat are good. You think about it, you fight it. Everybody should. Just don't lie to yourself about it.
Auntie Mary had a canary up the leg of her drawers.
Not gonna get as bad.
That's all right. You won't have to pay.
Oh, what are you waiting for, girl? Sing!
How much is it?
Put your penny on, girl. We're doing the dishes.
Ask him if to take a Provident check.
Oh, now, where did I put it? Yes, here's some there. Hey? Oh, yeah.
It's got the corner off.
Ah,
Where did you get this?
off our cherry.
I lent this to our Michelle. Our Michelle has lent this to Terry. And Terry.
It's the crafty racism that gets you. When the hospital administrator says, oh, how could we possibly be racist? I mean, look at all the black people we employ. And you look and you see plenty. But it's the white ones giving the orders. I was the only black girl in the class, and someone called me nigger. He said, she can't help being black. As if it was a disease. I was 9. I wanted to shout out, can't help being black. I want to be black. I love being black. But I couldn't. I was crying so much. Trendy lefties. They like being seen out with a bit of black. Reinforces their left credentials. They don't pretend not to notice. Oh, no. They want to advertise the fact that they can face these things. So all we talk about is my blackness, my black experience. I'm not a person to them. Oh, Sandra, I could go on.
We've got time for a drink if we move ourselves.
Yes.
What's going on here?
Oh, Rich just gave me a left arm.
Oh, that was very nice of him.
Yeah, well, he was scared of me getting mugged.
Oh, I'm sure he was. And this is Richard, is it?
How'd you do?
What else has he been telling you?
What?
This is Albert Duff.
My name's Richard DeSaville.
Yeah, and I'm Charles Aznavour. You're Albert Duff. You used to work on the building with me and Barry.
I've never seen you before, mate.
Oh, behave. Shows your arm.
I've never seen you before, mate.
He's got a tattoo on his right arm. A art.
Yeah?
Albert used to be my name. It's now Richard DeSaville.
Richard DeSaville?
Yeah, that's right.
I preferred Rudolph. What?
Oh, take no notice. The stupid idea of a joke.
You two are a joke. He's not even a dancer. He's a bricklayer.
I'm a part-time instructor, pal. I get paid for running a dance course.
You know more about a damp-proof course. Go ahead, on your bike.
Do you mind? I've invited him in for a cup of tea.
I'll tell you one thing, you've got some bottle. You're living with me and you're bringing your fancy fella round here.
There's nothing between us. He gave me a lift home, that's all. What's going on out there?
Hiya. Who's this?
It's Rudolph.
Ah, hiya, Rudolph. Let's have a dance. Da-da, da-dee. House.
Say what?
All right, girl. Cup of tea?
Oh, you better make a coffee, Michelle. Black.
You all right, love?
You want some breakfast?
No, I've got one of them lunch things on today. It'll give me an appetite if I miss me toast.
What about tea?
Look, I'm all right. You sit yourself down.
I mean tonight.
Well, of course I will, yeah. Just get our Karen to do it.
You will be home, though?
Of course.
I need to know. You've been missing half the weekend and just about every night last week.
I know, she, but I've had loads on, haven't I?
Hardly see you these days.
Come on.
Never see the baby.
Oh, no way. Come on, she. You know that's not right, don't you? I had her in my arms all last night.
Not seen her this morning, though, have you?
Well, I know she's asleep.
Don't ask me. If you'd been in to see her, you'd know, wouldn't you?
Look, I didn't want to wake her up. That's why I didn't want to go in, love. But I'll see her tonight.
Don't play, love.
She, I've got loads on, honest.
I need you. It's just me and her all day.
Look, I've got to go, honest. But I'll get home early, okay? Come on, don't worry.
Yes?
Mrs. Collins?
Yes?
I'm Joanna Duncan, Christopher Duncan's mother. The head boy at your son's school.
Oh, hello.
May I come in?
Oh, yes. Yes, please do.
I thought I remembered you.
Christopher's mother. Yes, I think we have met.
It's Annabelle, isn't it?
Yes.
I've been meaning to call for weeks, but Oh, is this convenient? You're going...
Oh, yes, as a matter of fact, I'm just going over to see Mr. Doughty about my son.
I want to talk to you about Gordon.
Is he all right?
I'm sorry?
Has he been in touch with your son?
Christopher hasn't been in touch with him for weeks.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you'd called because...
I don't know how I'm going to say this to you, but I have to. You are alone.
Yes.
Are you sure?
It was Matthews.
I loathe that man.
With me, it's simple hate. I don't understand why a decent guy like Curzon took him on.
Good at his job, maybe?
That's debatable. But to do a thing like that... God, I wish...
Good morning, everyone.
Hi.
Mike?
Excuse me.
Why is it when I'm in a good mood, everyone has to be the opposite?
This place will put anyone in a bad mood.
Oh, well, that's because you're still the underling and I'm the boss.
Then shouldn't you show an example? I was here at 8:30 this morning.
Hey, I had to go to the office first to collect this. Aren't you going to ask me about my new car?
Oh, yes, I forgot about that.
Don's looking out for some personalised number plates to suit me. He's trying for a delivery tomorrow. Joyce is going to be green with envy. Going for something wrong?
Huh? Hello, McAdam. Oh, yeah. Hello, Joyce. Yep. Yes, do you want to speak? Oh, okay. Yep. I'll tell her. Bye.
Is that Joyce?
Yes. She wants you to go and see her. Straight away.
No, her secretary knew I was in earlier. What's she want to drag me back for?
I'll get on with it, shall I?
It started, Christopher's illness, when this girl appeared. Gordon's... She's called Kathy, I believe. I may not remember the name correctly, but it's what Christopher...
Kathy. Yes, that's right. But I don't understand. I mean, what is she to do with your son? I didn't know he even knew her.
She came between Christopher and Gordon.
Between them?
Gordon told Christopher about her. It started everything. He wouldn't go to school. He wouldn't eat properly. Geoffrey and I pressed him, but it was some time before he'd talk about it.
About what?
You knew they were close. They always have been. Well, when Kathy appeared, Gordon gave a letter to Christopher. He said he didn't want to be seen with him, associating with him. It took us some time to find all this out, and Geoffrey and I are worried about his schooling. It was an awful shock for Geoffrey and me when Christopher told us. You don't know what we've been through privately. If Mr. Doughty were to find out...
Are you sure? Are you absolutely sure Christopher is...
Yes. We've had a very long talk about it. We've all got to accept it.
Did he say that Gordon was that way?
Yes?
Hi, you wanted to see me?
Yes, I did. Sit down. I was called up to Howard Drucker's this morning about the Curzon review. They've been in touch with him and, well, we've decided to make a change. A matter of switching people.
Oh?
We'll be putting Nigel Green into Curzon's tomorrow.
Nigel Green? He's corporate taxation.
Yes, I know.
I'm afraid I don't need him.
And I'm afraid that doesn't come into it. Nigel will be replacing you.
What?
I'm sorry.
But we'll be taking you off the Curzon job from now.
But why?
My discussion with Howard didn't go into detail.
My work's satisfactory. You've checked it, haven't you?
Of course. It always is.
You must have said why.
The decision has been made, well, for a variety of reasons.
Oh, come on, Joyce. What sort of an explanation is that?
It's the managing partner's explanation. And if you take my advice, we'll have to accept it.
Hannah?
You've been hours.
Came as quickly as I could. What's happening? Has Gordon been in touch with this boy?
No.
Well, what then? Well, come on. I've driven 15 miles to come home in the middle of the day. What is it?
Mrs. Duncan told me something that might be the reason for Gordon leaving.
Yes?
Gordon seems to have had some trouble with her son. They quarreled. Christopher's been absent from school and he blames Gordon.
Gordon?
Christopher's confessed to his parents. They seem to have been having some kind of relationship.
Sorry. You okay?
What do you think? You did know, didn't you?
Yes. I heard first thing this morning. I'm sorry. I know what it meant to you, running this review.
Yes, it hurts. But what hurts more is not being given a decent reason. I wouldn't mind if my work was at fault, but it's not.
What did Joyce say?
She didn't go into details.
Why not?
I don't know. Apparently, Howard Drucker wouldn't take kindly to a fuss being made. Demands for an explanation. Greg, what's been said at the factory?
Not a lot.
Greg,
I really think you ought to go and see Howard Drucker.
will you just tell me what you've heard?
Mike Harrison was carpeted by Matthews this morning for unprofessional emotional involvements.
No need to guess who with.
No.
Oh, man, he's a rat.
I know. I hate to bother you, but you wanted me to go through the paperwork on those faulty product returns. Have you got any more on them?
No.
Do you think Matthews is covering up something over that? And that's why he's done this to you?
I don't know. Even if I did, who's going to believe me? What would they call it? Sour grapes? A smear campaign? Revenge?
Then there's nothing to suggest that this is more than a one-sided business. Christopher Duncan may, on his own confession, be that way. That doesn't mean that Gordon...
Not concerned about that.
Not concerned? The woman comes here and as good as brands Gordon as abnormal, and you're not concerned?
Of course I'm concerned. I'm concerned about Gordon. He's obviously in great distress. I don't know if that's the cause of it or not. I just know that we should be with him. I'm going to book us a flight to France.
Anna, you can't.
We have to. Or is Petrochem and your precious outside contract getting in the way?
You know what Lucy said?
I didn't give her my word that we wouldn't go over. That's just an excuse.
Anna, you're wrong. Of course I'm worried about Gordon.
Then let me book the tickets.
Yeah, she's been really down lately. She let this woman she only half knew mind the baby all day. But my dad went spare, didn't he? So she's been on these tablets a couple of weeks. They're supposed to make her feel better.
Hey, perhaps you can lend me some.
You?
Well, I'm depressed, aren't I?
You are?
He finished with me.
Oh, well.
Last night. The cheek of him. After me slaving away for weeks making him that jacket, the leather thing. You don't half like that skirt.
Yeah, it's French. I'm thinking of finishing with Andrew.
Oh, yeah?
I'm getting really bored of him and his mates.
Yeah. Hey, how about us going out? Just the two of us? Or doesn't being as yet?
2 essays tonight.
Well, what about tomorrow, then?
Could always tell him I'm staying in. Yeah, fancy a ball.
Hey, are you going to wear this French stuff?
Yep.
I wouldn't mind those.
Well, why don't you copy them? So long as you don't take them to bits.
Can I?
Yeah, why not look like a couple of frogs? Can you have them done by tomorrow?
Easy. Hey, we could pretend to be frogs, couldn't we?
You what?
Well, we'd pull the fellas if they thought we were.
Hang on, I thought this was supposed to be an all-girls night out.
Yeah, but it'd be a laugh, wouldn't it?
It would, especially as you can't speak French to save your life.
Who needs to talk? It's the image and that body language.
Karen! I better go and see what she wants. Bring them with you. Karen! Why, Samaya? Get the tea started, will you, please? Mother, I've got 2 essays to do this afternoon.
Well, you can do them later on. I've got to see to the baby.
I've got 2 free periods. That's why I'm home. I'm supposed to be working.
Oh, yes. Well, what have you got a friend in for, then?
I better go then, eh?
Oh, I'm not saying that. All I'm asking for is a hand.
Well, where's our Damon, eh? What about him?
Oh, God knows, and I'm asking you.
I'll go. What time are we going out then?
I'll call for you about 6:30. Get changed at yours, eh?
See ya.
What did you have to say that for, eh? In front of her?
I didn't mean it like that.
She feel rotten, though. She won't dare come back.
Well, she's always in and out, and our Damon's mates. The only one I never see is your father. It's all right for you.
Nor if you're going to show my friends up every time they come round, it's not.
Oh, Karen! I'm sorry, love. I've nothing against Susie or the others. Look, it's just, you know, seeing you and our Damon and your dad. Well, you're all out doing things. Well, I take one afternoon off from the baby and look what happened.
I think you're exaggerating a bit, Mum. We look after her as much as we can.
I don't know. I just feel trapped, stuck in here.
You don't feel any better since you started the tablets, then? Don't worry. You won't be like this for long. I mean, kids grow up quick. You said it yourself often enough.
I feel as if I've had her for years already.
I'll get that tea started, eh?
Mike, Archie.
Hi. We are honoured. What are you doing down here in a suit like that?
Good job it's not my Sunday one, eh? You know where I can find Miss Havisham?
Not seen her today.
Really? She asked me to see her this afternoon about these blasted returns.
She's been taken off the review.
Oh? Seems odd. I thought she was very competent. And a nice change from your usual accountancy types. She made a mess of it.
I'm not quite sure. Deacon Matthews has had her shifted for unprofessional emotional involvement.
What sort of a trumped-up charge is that?
She went for a drink with yours truly.
She wouldn't go for a drink. Or anything else with Loverboy Matthews?
It's about the strength of it.
6:30? Well, I don't know whether I'm going to see him, but... Right. Right. Right.
Hello, kid.
Mate of yours on the phone, Ted Harper.
Harper or Harker?
I don't know. Do they have to phone here?
Well, he's probably phoned the office first, love.
Yeah, well, I said I didn't know whether I'd see you. He's got a meeting at 6:30.
Yeah, well, you have seen me, haven't you? Because I got off early. I'm going to nip upstairs and see the other little girl in my life, see if she fancies a hug.
Not now. I've just got her settled.
Well, I won't wake her up, love.
You will. She's had rotten wind.
Well, I'll get her wind up, love. It's no problem.
No!
Blimey, you gave me down the banks this morning for ignoring her, and now you won't let me near her.
There's plenty of time for that later on. You don't have to go now.
Look, one of the reasons I got off work early was to see her. I mean, and to see you as well. But what's happened, love? You've done nothing but narc at me since I put my foot in the door. Look, I know you're depressed, love, and I understand that. But blimey, there's a limit to what I can cope with myself, you know.
What are you doing?
I'm phoning Ted Harker.
You're not going out again.
Look, I promised him last week.
Oh, God.
Shit. It's the last night meeting I've got this week, isn't it? I've just got one other meeting of a night. That's with George and a fella from Petrochem. And we're having that here.
Here?
Here, yeah.
You can't.
Well, why not?
Well, look at the place. It's filthy.
No, it's not.
Well, what do you think about this, then? I mean, look at the state of this suite and the carpet.
They're not going to be looking at that. They're coming here for a meeting.
No, they're not. Nobody's coming into my house while it's in this state. If you want to have meetings here, you get a bit of decorating done.
Well, it's not that bad.
Don't you go siding with him. You won't be doing any decorating, will you? Gallivanting about half the time. Look, you've been in work for 6 months now. There's no excuse. We can afford a bit of wallpaper.
Oh, that's it, is it? Oh, I see. We've got a few bob, have we? I go to work in the collar and tie, eh? God blimey, girl, you'll be asking for a new house next, won't you?
No. I just want it decorating.
Well, it's the first time you've mentioned it, isn't it, for God's sake? I say I'm bringing a new face home, you put on your airs and graces. Well, if this house is good enough for me, it's good enough for the fellas I work with.
It's not good enough for me. Now, I've got my relatives coming here in a couple of weeks' time, and I want it done.
Well, I haven't got the time.
Find the time.
Jesus Christ, oh, Sheila.
There's lots of people on the dole out there. You're always going on about that. Get one of them to do it.
Jesus, I'm not rolling in it, you know. I've never had anyone in it to do the decorating in my life.
I don't care.
Oh, God.
I just want it done.
Well, I can't afford it.
Then I'll tell them to do it.
Me sister's fell her half dead in hospital. A brick through me front window. That's the sort of thing that I'm having to put up with since George went into prison for something he didn't do. So don't talk to me about fighting.
Mrs. Jackson, this was not mere fighting.
Them lads come home night after night, punched and bruised. They're bullied, day in, day out. But nobody here says a word, do they? You're the headmaster. You're supposed to protect them. As far as I'm concerned, they're protecting the father's name. How would you like your kids being called Jailbird Jackson, eh? I'm glad they've started to fight. It's about time.
Mrs. Jackson, your boys were not being bullied. They systematically beat. This first year, he's only started a few weeks ago. Now, quite frankly, I'm disgusted.
What did he do to them, eh? Nobody said a word about that. Have you found that out?
The McCardle boy was practically unconscious.
McCardle?
Didn't you know? Yes, Colin McCardle. Their family come from Nottingham, Mrs. Jackson. They have no relatives in Liverpool whatsoever.
You sure?
I don't know anything about this local McCardle. I don't want to. All I know is that your boys are lucky that Mr. and Mrs. McCardle are not pressing charges. I just hope for your sake they don't change their minds. Of course, I have had to give an undertaking to Mr. and Mrs. McCardle that your boys will be dealt with in an appropriate manner. And bearing in mind that they have had warnings over their behavior, And you have been visited by the educational welfare officer over there, truancy. Mrs. Jackson, I have no option but to suspend them forthwith. Now, initially, the suspension will last for 3 days, but before then, it is my intention to seek the consent of the school governors to extend that period. I have no option, Mrs. Jackson. None at all.
Thanks.
Check in an hour before the flight.
Plenty of time.
I'm glad you think so.
Plenty of time.
Wish you could come with me to the airport.
Yes, if it wasn't having to see that blasted site engineer this evening. Have you eaten?
Well, I couldn't.
Oh, I feel the same way. Want a drink?
Have we got time?
Yes, come on. Sit down.
I wanted to ring Mrs. Duncan this morning.
I toyed with the idea of calling his father. But you didn't. Neither did I. I keep thinking it all over.
I keep thinking about Kathy, what she said recently.
Yes. Would there have been a Kathy if... And I think, well, it was his first girl. You can guess how it all went wrong.
Paul, if Gordon is that way, but if he is...
Do you want another coffee, Sheila?
No, thanks, love. I have enough trouble sleeping as it is, unless it's in the middle of the afternoon.
I know the feeling.
Oh, come on. Don't tell me a girl like you has trouble sleeping, chasing around in a man's world every day.
That's precisely why. Well, it was last night. A man's world. I didn't sleep a wink last night after something a certain man did to me yesterday.
Roger hasn't been in touch, has he?
Oh, no. No. It's this company we're at the moment. I've been leading the review. Something I haven't done before. It's a really big step up for me. At least it was until the chief accountant started to get ideas about how he'd like our professional relationship to progress.
That's sexual harassment. Well, it sounds like it anyway.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Bob's been involved with cases like that, you know, with the union.
I've no union to fight for me, Sheila. And he's twisted things to get me taken off the job.
Can't you go and see your boss, you know, take it a bit further?
Oh, I've been told to take it without a fuss. Anyway, it's a It's a bit more complicated than that.
I thought you looked a bit down. No wonder. Hey, if you want any antidepressants, give us a shout.
Yeah, I might do that. The problem is, it's men I have to deal with 99% of the time. It only takes one of them to get the wrong idea, like this Deacon Matthews guy, and the whole thing could happen again. Excuse me. Don!
Hi, here I am, bearing gifts.
Come on in.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, this is Sheila Grant, my neighbour. This is Don Summerhill. Hello.
I'm a personal car salesman. I brought it round.
What? Oh, the car.
You've forgotten a smart motor like that.
I'd better be going.
Well, don't you want to admire it? This lady doesn't seem too enthusiastic.
Some other time, love. Bye, Heather. I'll see myself out, love.
Bye, Sheila.
Bye.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
Oh, never mind. We can sign things up over a coffee. If I can invite myself. Come on, then. Come and have a look.
He's had a perfectly ordinary upbringing.
Has he?
I might not have seen as much of him as I liked. Perhaps I haven't been at home as much as I should have been. Like other fathers. He's hardly an all-round athlete, anything like that.
Perhaps the responsibility is joint. Look at Lucy. She's fled the family nest. Exactly the same age as Gordon. 16. Is it because of us? Our marriage? Perhaps we weren't together enough.
We've been together a long time.
Have we? Have we really been together? Together in the home. Together doing the things we used to do, yes. But is it enough?
Animals like the camel are able to store their food in the body.
Forgot to give you this. Sorry, it's from George.
I know it's from. Why didn't I get it earlier?
Well, I only just found it myself. It's been in his pocket all day.
I'll murder you two. You know what your dad's letters look like.
I am expecting some letters this week, so make sure to get them.
You will also notice that this variety has a shaggy coat for keeping it warm in the severe cold weathers of Southeast Asia.
Oh,
People
God.
often believe that the camel is rather an
Where is it?
antisocial animal. Although they've been used since early times like a horse for man to ride.
He's lost his remission.
Man has continued to strike up a very close...
He's got to do the full suspended sentence for escaping.
Another 12 months.
but also in Australia.
They're sending him away to Leeds.
The animal has changed little since very early times. It's only
All loaded.
I've written down the instructions for the dinner party on Tuesday night.
Yes, well, you just leave that to me. You concentrate on the job you've got to do. You will ring, especially if he decides to run away or anything.
I don't think he will.
No. As I said, I think it's best in a way that you go on your own. I can't stand the thought of the kind of scenes I had with Lucy at that age. Especially after this Christopher Duncan business. I He might be unnecessarily aggressive.
Well, we'll have to see what happens.
You will tell him I miss him.
Of course.
I'm sure everything will be all right. Now, you mustn't hesitate to ring me if you need me.
I will. Look, I must go. The plane.
Damn it. Why the hell does this strike business have to crop up now? Now of all times.
I suppose there's no point asking if you did French at school. We don't have to talk to them. You reckon these French birds are, you know, don't be soft, they'll expect it. You know what the fellas are like over there? All chat, dead sophisticated.
I can't carry on with it. They know we're making them look like a pair of bibbies. They won't want to know. Just listen to what I say and copy the odd things.
Cheers, mate. Now remember, dead sophisticated. Yeah, right.
Hey, now don't make a show of it.
Comment appelez-vous?
What?
Je m'appelle Karen.
Oh, Danny. This is Steve.
Je m'appelle Suzy.
Hello, son.
All right, Mr. Grant, is Karen in?
No, I'm afraid she's not, lad.
Where's she gone?
I haven't got a clue. Do you want to come in a minute?
No, it's okay, yeah. She said she was staying in. Did she say whether she's going to see me mum?
She hasn't mentioned anything to me, lad.
That's great, isn't it?
Oh, come on now. She is 18, you know.
Yeah, and giving me the runaround.
Well, she must have had to go out somewhere, son.
She's always making excuses these days. I'm staying in, I've got essays and that.
Well, hey, she is taking her O-levels, you know.
Is that all she's doing?
Oh, come on now. I know you're upset. Don't be taking it out on me. Shall I call Sheila and find out if she knows
it's
where...
okay. Just give her this. It's a concert ticket. I'll queued up all afternoon for it.
Well, is there any other message, lad?
Just tell her I won't believe her next time.
Good night, lad.
I'll kill you, Karen Grant.
Well, they believe us, don't they?
They may believe you. I haven't said a word.
Said you had a septic throat.
You. I'm going to seem really something now, aren't I? Septic throat.
I quite like them.
So do I.
Do what Etienne said.
Etty what?
French for Stephen.
Yeah, they want to take us out tomorrow. So what are we going to do? I can't sit there like a dummy all night. And if we tell them we're not frogs, they won't want to know.
I don't know.
Well, you started it.
Oh, it's only a laugh.
Well, I don't think it's funny.
Can't you remember anything?
been 43 in CSE.
Well, that's something.
It's not all stuff, lad.
Just try to remember it.
I can't. You need an interpreter or something.
But what?
Jeez, you don't really manage English. Who do you know who speaks French?
Oh, what I know. Hang on. There's that lad at Bowler's Wine Bar.
He lives in Kirby.
But his man's a frog, and he was born there.
That's it. Let's go and get them two. Get in the cab and shoot over there. If he does the talking and asks them out for us, we can work him a few bob.
And how are you going to tell him that we've got to get a taxi halfway across town?
Oh, never mind that. Let's just get out there before they dump us.
It's on a book, Pop. I don't know. If they come back in, what are you going to do?
Fix it to meet them somewhere and then come clean when we're there. Où vous allez?
Oh, je bring un taxi.
Un taxi? Pourquoi?
To get this fellow in Kirby who speaks frog.
Don't keep calling them that.
Lay taxi at Kirby.
Oh, I can't stand any more of this. What do we want to blame a taxi to Kirby for?
What is this?
Dear, that's what it is. Oh, I'm sorry, it was just a joke.
You've been taking them. What are you doing tomorrow?
I know what you should be doing.
What?
Giving that up. Oh, don't you know it's National No Smoking Day tomorrow?
Oh, God, what a lousy thing to do.
That's why I'd forgotten about your special delivery.
I'm not surprised. Is it anything to do with what you told me last week?
About the faulty products being returned? I don't know. What I do know is if I start shouting about it now, who's going to take me seriously? A woman.
This isn't the Heather I know.
No?
You were always determined to get on, come what may. You certainly put more into your degree work than I did. At least till you know who turned up.
Now all my getting on has turned sour.
It's a setback, certainly. It's upset you, that's obvious. I mean, if your work is okay, and I'm sure it is, otherwise you wouldn't be where you are, it's not going to be long till everybody knows the truth about this Matthews guy.
Thanks.
It's like you said the other night. I mean, perhaps if you'd still been married, you'd have had someone to share all this with. It mightn't have seemed so bad.
Well, on my experience of marriage, I'm not so sure.
I shouldn't have been so backward in coming forward, should I? I shouldn't have stood in the wings when Roger Huntington came galloping on stage. Come on, let's get these forms signed. That'll cheer you up. You can drive up to the office tomorrow and say to hell with a lot of them.
No, I don't think so, Don.
Nothing like a change of car to boost self-confidence. I know I say that to all my customers, but it is true.
No.
Well, you'd sooner read through all the small print.
I did think the car was going to be a part of my new image, but now it doesn't seem to fit.
Well, you'll probably have to wait ages to get another with such low mileage.
I want to cancel it.
You can't let an upset at work affect you like this. It's not as if you've been sacked. I could understand it then.
I was actually getting close to where I've always wanted to be when this happened. It was going to be a sort of a celebration, Don. And now there's nothing to celebrate.
Can't I persuade you? I could maybe manage to hold on to it for a week or two.
Oh, no. Don't go getting into trouble with your employers. I want to cancel it. I'm sorry.
I've still given me word to the fellas. No redundancies.
Forget that.
Forget it? What about my reputation, eh?
You can forget that and all. Because if it comes to the worst, those men are going to be a lot more interested in a payoff than your reputation.
Have you thought about this at all, lad?
Of course I have.
Well, we've got no mandate. Not yet we haven't. And we need one if we're going to frighten Paul Collins and the rest of his mates on the board.
I've been saying that all along. Let's do something.
It's too soon.
Look, we've got to get something really organised, something to frighten the life out of them. As you said, let's go in there armed to the teeth.
Any chance some coffee, man?
Coffee, yeah. Sheila!
There's no time. We've got to hit them now. Those subcontract blokes are going to be coming through the gates in days. Sheila!
You know. You've been there longer than
Any chance of some coffee, love?
I'm sure they'll come out.
Well, a sandwich or anything, lads?
Yeah, please.
I wouldn't mind.
Bobby tells me that none of those blokes were going to get any support at all.
I suppose there's any chance of you going to see to her, is there?
I'm sure on an issue of principle.
What am I going to say, eh? Really? Wait till tomorrow.
What's there? I wish there wasn't one.
You can't let it get you down. You've got to...
Get me down. I can't get down anymore. Whatever I write's going to sound like a suicide note. I was going to write and tell him about the kids. Well, I can't now, can I? How must he be feeling? Another 12 months. And away in Leeds.
Just tell him that we're all behind him. That you'll wait for him. Same as often as you can.
I don't think I can wait. Look at the state of me. Look at the state of the kids. We need him. I can't wait.
Look, the board are solid. They know where they stand, and we don't.
We need more time. It's too soon to start things the way they want to play it, lad.
Tell him what we propose, Bob.
We put it to them that both sides agree to a cooling-off period of, say, what, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks. That way it gives us a chance to get our act together.
I'm not going to Paul Collins with a suggestion like that. How am I going to look?
It buys us more time.
No.
Look, you told me you could handle this, but you're not prepared to do anything other than whipping the members up into a frenzy.
He'd laugh me out of his office. How about him doing it?
Me? Why me?
It's not such a bad idea, you know. I mean, you know the man. He is a neighbour of yours. Yes, Bobby, I think you should tell him. Well, that's it then. Motion carried. 6 weeks.
Dear George, if I'm lucky, this letter will be waiting for you when you get to Leeds. Because I want you to know as soon as possible that what's happened isn't going